The Detroit Lions has assembled an extremely talented coaching staff. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell has done a fantastic job, and I want to tell you about it. What is going on, YouTube, and welcome to Detroit Lions Talk with Mike. We talk all things Detroit Lions news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. In this video, we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions coaching staff, the impressive staff that has been assembled. You can almost call it like an Avengers type style of staff. And I think it's important to go ahead and talk about these individuals the Lions have hired to help lead our roster into a better direction. Now, when it comes to these coaches, I'm really excited to see them work their magic. Throughout the years, we've really had bad coaching, specifically last year, and it's really important to have individuals that know what they're doing and the players buy into what they are selling. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about Dan Campbell. We all have explored him, but he has done a fantastic job finding the perfect personnel to help teach these players for the Detroit Lions roster. It's always important to find leadership, and he is definitely crosses the mark regarding leadership, and I think he's really done a fantastic job, him and Brad Holmes, to find these individuals for the Lions, whether it be assistants, coaches, coordinators, all these specific personnel to help lead the franchise going forward. So let's go ahead and start offensively with the Detroit Lions. Anthony Lynn is the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator. Now, to me, he's extremely underrated. As you can tell here, he was the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers last year. Before that, he was with the Cleveland Browns. He was the running backs coach. He was named the running backs assistant head coach of the New York Jets back in 2012. Lynn did a position with the Buffalo Bills. Ryan head coach interests from many teams such as the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets potentially, and obviously he landed with the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, when we think of Anthony Lynn, go ahead and comment under the pinned comment. I want you to grade this coaching staff. It's really simple: A, B, C, D, or F. You can go ahead and do the plus or negatives. That's perfectly fine. But I'm curious to see what the fan base thinks about this coaching staff of the Detroit Lions. Let's turn this into a forum and comment. We think of a guy who's really helped out the offensive side of the football, specifically with Justin Herbert. He's done a very good job. He's put in a bad situation, in my opinion, when his starter went down with that lung injury. Justin Herbert came in and just blew up the NFL league. Now, obviously, that does have to do with Justin Herbert's ability to be a fantastic player in this draft, but it also does have to do with the strengths of Anthony Lynn to sit this rookie down and show him how to really dissect the play on the field. In my opinion, did a very good job. Kind of shocked that he was actually fired by the Los Angeles Chargers, was let go, and the Detroit Lions hooked him as offensive coordinator. Now, one of the strengths, in my opinion, is he has a ton of experience, and he's going to really help out Dan Campbell on that side of the ball. A lot of people said Dan Campbell doesn't have experience, but what does he do? He surrounds himself with experience. Offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn is a guy you can really bet on for experience and a good mentor for Dan Campbell. Another underrated coach that Detroit Lions decided to hire is assistant head coach, running backs coach, Duce Staley. Now, if you don't know who Duce Staley is, he's definitely a very good, solid former player back in 1997 NFL Draft, predominantly with the Philadelphia Eagles, but he did have a stint with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, when it comes to Duce Staley, talented running back at the time, but he was the running backs coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and he did various assistant coaching roles from 2011 to 2020. He's very coveted regarding his position, and he decided to do a lateral move and jump to the Detroit Lions. What I really like about this hire is the fact that the Detroit Lions really want to have an emphasis on running the football. Having a former player in there who's played that position has a different perspective regarding that role. He was also a coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he has experience. It's not a first-time year. He's done it before, and he was coveted. A lot of people really liked him, and he decided to join the Detroit Lions to help out the Lions run the football. Former player, did the position, Love the move. The Detroit Lions are going to have a different look when it comes to the quarterback position. So what do? They hire quarterbacks coach Mark Brunell. Mark Brunell was a former player as well. He played a lot with the Washington football team, the Saints, the New York Jets. He's had many career stats regarding that. Now, he was coveted as a fairly good veteran quarterback at the time, put up a bunch of good stats, did well with the various teams. He became a assistant coach for the Province School of Jacksonville, Florida. He became the new head coach of that program, director of School of Jacksonville Scouting. He became the quarterbacks coach of the Detroit Lions. Again, what I like about this hire is the simple fact that Mark Brunell is a former player. Having former players really help out quarterbacks who's played that position, to me, is uncanny quality education. You're getting it from an individual who's done it, who's been at the position, who's seen the ups and downs, who understands what it takes going against defenders and all that. Mark Brunell was a successful NFL career, not the greatest quarterback in the world, but that's okay. He's got a great mind, and I think he's really going to help develop Jared Goff, calm him down a little bit. And if the Detroit Lions decide to take a young quarterback in this draft, he would be a fantastic individual to have help train that young quarterback in the league. Folks, hit that like button. I would love to get 400 likes in this video. I've yet to get 400 likes in a video. I've been given a challenge by Chat Sports. Let's see if you guys can fulfill that. Get 400 likes. That would be fantastic. Let's go ahead and jump on the defensive side of the ball. Love the defense, and the defense, let's be honest here, needs the most work on this team. And we're going to go ahead and go with defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is a former cornerback who is now the defensive coordinator of our team. He previously served as defensive back coach of New Orleans Saints from 2016 to 2020, and he served as an assistant coach of the Cleveland Browns. He played for around 15 seasons, and he was definitely a coach that a lot of teams were looking at to be a defensive coordinator and actually interviewed for a head coaching job. He is known as a young mind in this game and a good individual to have for defensive coordinator and or head coach for some teams. Such a young mind, coveted by multiple teams, but he decided to join the Detroit Lions with a very hard issue and to help bring the Detroit Lions defense out from the basement to something more respectable. Given the stance that he could have chosen other jobs with much better talent on defense, he decided to go to the Detroit Lions, who he coached alongside Dan Campbell. I think this is a fantastic hire for the defense. You're getting a new look on defense with a guy who's played the position again, a former player. You're seeing a theme here, former player. I think, in my opinion, if you're a former player, players who are currently playing will respect the individual a little bit more. They understand being in that position, and I really like this hire, and I am excited to see how this defense gets better under his control. One of the knocks on Aaron Glenn was he was not a former coordinator. So what did the Detroit Lions do? They hire senior defensive assistant Dan Capers. Now, Dan Capers has a very long professional career. He has stints all over the NFL, predominantly the Green Bay Packers, but he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Dallas Cowboys, Washington football team, Minnesota Vikings as an assistant. He's done it all. Dan Capers definitely doesn't have the greatest defense in the world, but what he does bring is a lot of experience and to help mentor Aaron Glenn. Having that experience, somebody who's been in the game for as long as he has coaching, it's going to be beneficial to Aaron Glenn, who's his first time being a coordinator. Having him help assist him in some of the daily tasks and some of the issues that's taken over by defensive coordinator is a very good beneficial to Aaron Glenn, and I think it's going to really help this defense out from a statistical standpoint. Now, this coach here, inside linebackers coach Mark Deleone, is one of my favorite pickups so far this offseason. Why is that? Well, he was the linebackers coach of the Chicago Bears, and he decided to do a lateral move and come to Detroit. First off, I love the lateral move, and I love the experience that he had with the Chicago Bears. He was a fantastic linebackers coach over there in Chicago. We know this because the linebackers have been great under his control. His coaching style is very beneficial to the players for Chicago, and with the Detroit Lions having a massive lack of talent on the linebacking core, I think it's going to be extremely important for him to help lead these young guys into a better positive direction. It can only go up from here. He did a great job with Chicago, and I think he can replicate that success in Detroit once we get a little bit better talent, even though I do think the production will get better simply because he's a coach. Great hire for the Lions. When we talk about defense, we always talk about the defensive line. And defensive line coach Todd Wash is a great pickup for the Detroit Lions. If you don't know who he is, he was previously with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was the inside and defensive coordinator for one of the greatest defensive lines that they had. They actually called it Saxonville. When he was defensive coordinator, they were disrupting the quarterback like no other. That's when the Jacksonville Jaguars went all the way to the AFC Championship with a quarterback who could barely do anything. Todd Wash really pushed this defense and made it an extremely quality defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars. As he has former experience as a coordinator, jumping to the defensive line and focusing on this will be massive for the Detroit Lions. How do you win football games, folks? You get after the quarterback and stop the running game. Todd Wash is going to focus on this positional group, and that's going to help Detroit turn around this defense. Great, fantastic hire by Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the special teams coordinator, the new one here, Dave Phipp. Now, he spent 3 years with the San Francisco 49ers as an assistant special teams coach. 49ers Phipp is playing with a critical role as the team's excellent special teams play. In 2009, his punter earned Pro Bowl selection, second in the NFL, and his running back, Michael Robinson, was named to the Pro Bowl. In 2011, his special teams ranked number 2 in the NFL. That was a great jump for him. He became the special teams coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, where he accrued up a ton of touchdowns and blocks. When it comes to special teams, look, we got to have special teams. I know it's not the greatest thing in the world when we talk about, defensive coordinators, the defensive line coach, but it is important to have special teams. And last year, Detroit Lions actually had a very good special teams ranking in the NFL. Great punter. Did okay with the field goals, not that great though, a little bit, but I think Dave Phipp will fill in nice and do a good job for the special teams. Not a bad hire in my opinion. As long as we can continue success from this aspect, I think the Lions will have a very sound special teams. Here's some notable coaches as well that I did not mention. As you're going to see here, love the Frank Haley offensive line. We retained him. Frank Haley did a very good job for the Detroit Lions here. Best that you can get with the players you had. And I thought it was a very good hire to keep him as the offensive line coach. It's really important to have continuity when coaches are good. Now, we did not have a whole lot of that last year, but I think that will be a quality coach to keep for the Detroit Lions. All in all, I really think this is a spectacular coaching tree we have going on here for the Detroit Lions. A lot of these coaches are former players and did well in stints with the previous teams they were at. They wanted to come to Detroit, and that is a shocker considering the fact that the Detroit is somewhat in a rebuild mode and dealing with a lot of issues. However, with the upcoming videos, we got the Detroit Lions One Pride podcast on my channel. That's every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a fun show. Come on and hang out. You got questions, we got answers. Also, on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, it's Spiked Kool-Aid hosted by the Gridiron Blitz. I'm generally on there. It's a real fun show, and it's a great time. It's a little heated, but that's what's nice to be with Detroit Lions fans. Also, on Wednesday, we got Necessary Roughness on Troxel Sports Talk at 7 p.m. EST. Make sure you're there. It's a humorous show. We have fun, crack jokes, a great time.